Comes first, though. I won't let you off if you fail any of them. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is this thing on? Can you all see me? Most importantly, and I do stress this, y'all. This is the most important part, if you haven't caught on by now. Can you all hear me? What's going on, people? What's up? What's happening? All right, mic check, video check. How's everything coming in, y'all? We dropping frames. Everything sounding crispy. How it is? How is it, y'all? Let me know. All right. I'm seeing a lot of comments rolling in. Okay, we good to go over here. All right, so let's just go ahead and we'll drag the chat over here. We're gonna maximize this. Okay, everything is good. Alrighty, so we'll give it a couple more minutes before we get into the show, just to give some folks some time to roll up. So, you know, might as well just go ahead and address the chat real quick. So shout out, starting at the top. We got the homie B Rex first. Also, Lucy is my wife. All y'all can back off. Well, hey. We gonna get into that in a second, but you're factually incorrect, good sir. She's my wife. We got Dylan Collins in the chat. Hey, I got the 30th anniversary Blu-ray set of Yu Yu Hakusho today. My man. At least there's something good from Yu Yu Hakusho that dropped today. That's some good news right there, my guy. We got PierretheGamer in the chat. Might miss the live stream. I'm going to go see that Godzilla Minus One. Oh, that is a great reason to miss the live stream, man. You about to experience some peak, some greatness right there. We got the homie Battlefield Joe in the chat. What's up, Guzman? How you doing, man? We got Pooh Bear. Sup, Neo? Going to be at work tonight, and I was at work last week. Hopefully I can catch you next time. Oh, no worries about that, Pooh Bear. Go stack that bread, man. Do what you do, and I'll catch you on the next one. Oh, we got Flame in the chat. What's up? He says gaming. Oh, yes, it is definitely a time to be gaming, my friend. A lot of good stuff coming out. Oh, we got Hibachi in the chat. Minus One is movie of the year. Yes, sir. Oh, we gonna go in on Godzilla tonight, you guys. We got Julian Phoenix. We got V Smoke. DIMWITMONKEY, Godzilla. That is all I have to say. Yo, I'm telling you, I'm so happy that a lot of y'all have got a chance to see Godzilla. That's awesome. Oh, we got the homie Julian Phoenix, who donated a super chat before the stream even started. He donated $4.99 saying, Godzilla Minus One was so good, I was rooting for the humans, shaking my head, and that atomic breath is the best version. It's a literal nuke. Oh, man, just listen, we're going to save all this Godzilla hype for later. But yes, Godzilla Minus One, if you guys couldn't tell from the past 5 comments in the last 3 minutes, it is definitely a movie you guys got to check out. If it's playing near you, I know it's not playing everywhere worldwide. I think it's just certain territories outside Japan, but trust me, it's such a good movie. You guys are not going to regret seeing it. We got David Biglot in the chat. What's up, everyone? The only thing missing from GTA 6 is some good moonshine. Hey, listen, you never know, my friend. You never know. They might put that in the game. They got 2 years to do it. We got J-Fam in the chat. What's up? R.I.P. Leaker. Oh, yeah, you know Rockstar got him the F up out of here, man. You saw that house that exploded in Arlington? Oh, listen, that was not... man, listen, let's not. Let's see. Who else is in here? We got Ghost Vixter in the chat. We got Brian Cutler. We got Gene Joseph. We live. Yes, sir. We got Rory saying, damn, Neo couldn't come early. Man, I like to pace myself. Let me not. This is a Christian YouTube stream. We got Fun Speculation. I'm on time. Yeah, shout out to my boy Mav. What's up, Mav? We got Mav in the chat. Good to see you, my guy. We got Wee Man Wheels. What's up, bro? I'm ready to talk about this Godzilla. Listen, this might as well just become a Godzilla YouTube channel at this point, because it's just Godzilla and GTA 6. All the best things start with G tonight. We just need something else to complete the trifecta. G. What else? What is something G that we are missing from this chat? G-spot? Nah, we know how to hit that. He's late again? No, Big Nate, I'm on time. I started the stream. You guys know there's always a pre-show. There's always a pre-show, my friends. You know what it is. That's how it is. Who else is in here? We have got Kory Gryffindor. Sup, people. I swear if I post another 10th super chat, I'm crushing someone's balls. Damn, this man's going hard. But listen, if it says that, man, you might as well just change your name to 10th super chat. That's your new name, man. That's your 10th, is the 10th member of the chat. We got Retro Lad in the chat. What's going on? We got Detonator. What's up, Neo? Good to see you back, my guy. Yes, sir. It is always good to be back at it like a crack addict, my friends. Oh, y'all weren't expecting that one, were you? Yes, sir. That's what we do. We got Alaron in the chat. I see the salt and pepper in your hair. We growing. Yeah, I got a little bit of, you can't really see it on the stream. I got a couple of gray hairs coming in, mainly on this side, just a few, but you know, it's starting, man. It's starting. Once you hit 30, man, those gray hairs start hitting like crazy. But you know, it's just a part of life, man. It is just a part of life, my friends. We growing up. We'll see. We got Lapis in the chat. What's up, Lapis? Who else is up in here? We got Cypher. What's up, Cypher? We got TX Bounty 4. We got Tando in the chat. What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing? We got KY Han. Are you playing Future Redeemed yet? Yo, I've been going ahead and finishing up some things in the base Xenoblade Chronicles 3 game. Since I bought the DLC pack, I wanted to go ahead and get the other, I wanted to unlock the other classes and see what those are hitting for before I dive into Future Redeemed. But yes, Future Redeemed will definitely be played before the end of the year. Yeah, man, it's been so good going back to Xenoblade 3, bro. I know I talked about this a little bit on Twitter, but man, that is such a special game. Dropping frames like the Switch port of Arkham Knight. Oh no, please, let's not do that over here. I pay for really good internet to not drop frames in the chat. No, we can't be doing that. No. This is not a Switch game. I will never forget. So shout out to my homie Mav over at Fun Speculation. He's here in the chat. I remember this man when he bought a Switch. I think either he bought a Switch for the first time like recently in the past 2 years, or he had bought a Switch before, sold it, and then rebought it. And just this man going from playing current gen systems on Xbox and PlayStation and then going to the Switch, he was just like, how does Nintendo get away with this shit? Like, I can't do anything on this system. And I was like, Mav, this is why they're so successful. Nintendo just gives y'all the bare minimum, and that's it. God, they really lucked out having some dope ass fucking exclusives, bro. Like, the Switch this year has been killing it, man. They've been killing it, bro. I have bought and sold 2 Switches, and then I got a Switch OLED. Yo, I got the Switch. So I'm only on 2 Switches. I got the launch model Switch back in 2017. I didn't buy it when it came out. I waited like 6, 7, 8 months. And then I upgraded to the Switch OLED when Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out, because I'm gonna be honest, man, just going back from the newer systems to the Switch, I'm not saying the OLED makes it much better because it's still the same hardware. But that OLED screen is so fucking crispy, bro. It just makes handheld play sublime. It's like so much portable Nintendo power in your hands, man. It's awesome. But yeah, good luck trying to do anything else on the Switch outside of that, man. Like, what's the point of having friends? The only reason why I have friends on the Switch is just so I can see y'all playing games and see the hours y'all put into games. Other than that, I don't know why we have friends on the Switch. I don't get it, but shout out to the Switch this year. It's been killing it, man. So many good fucking games. So many. Who else is in here? We got Overly Critical Anime. A pre-show is for suckers. Yeah, man. I mean, but listen, sometimes we gotta have a little bit of foreplay before we dive into the main event. We got Dexter Smith in the chat. What's up, Neo? You ready for Dragon's Dogma? Oh man, I've been ready for Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma 2 is just, ugh. If we got time, we'll talk about that tonight because they had a great showing. And we got a new release date as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who else is in here? We got Andre B. Venom. We got Zack Rodriguez. What's up, my guy? Yo, we got Rhino in the chat. What's going on, Kingpin? How you doing? And let's see who else is in here. We got Valkyrian24. Maddie, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? We got Brosie Brosum. What's good? How you doing? And I think that's more or less everybody, unless I missed a person. And of course, someone's gonna come here saying, "You missed me, bitch." I'm like, all right, I'm sorry. Oh, and we got a $2 super chat coming in from the homie Flame. Back to Yakuza for me. More shirtless man action. Hey, listen, bro. You don't need to play Yakuza to do that. It's called living in the state of Florida and walking outside. You can see all the shirtless action you want, man. Have you ever heard of Miami? Do you know what debauchery is, Flame? But yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing, yeah, we got a bunch of cool people in the chat tonight, so we might as well just dive straight into it. Oh, Retro Lad calling y'all out. He said, we got 70 viewers. Y'all better smash the like button. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. We got about 71 people watching right now. It's going to be a really good show tonight, you guys. So much excitement, so much enthusiasm. Just a lot of good stuff. So let's just get the intro out of the way. Welcome back to the show, everybody. You are watching Man Listen, which is our weekly news roundup series where we talk about some of the most interesting and exciting things that have been happening in the worlds of gaming, entertainment, pop culture, movies, what have you. It's a new thing that we started here on the channel a couple of weeks ago because for the longest time, the majority of my live streams, well, all the live streams that I've been doing, save for press conference reactions, have been Ask Neos. And while I love Ask Neos are a mainstay of the channel. Ask Neos will never go away because it's a great way for us to just hang out and relax. A lot of people have been wanting a more centralized way to consume, I guess you could say, the content on the channel. Something where they can just browse particular topics and speak on those things. So Man Listen is my way of making sure that people have access to that, in addition to having it done in a live format where we can just have it fun, where we can interact with the viewers and just break news stories as they come out. Like for the last 2 episodes, there were a couple topics that broke while we were recording, and it just made it a fun, interactive sort of thing. And I really want to appreciate all the feedback that we have gotten over the last 2 episodes that we have done. One of the things that I'm really pushing for with this series, doing it live, is just user feedback. So if you guys are watching this, whether you're watching it live or you are going ahead and you're watching it on the playback, make sure you comment down below and leave any type of feedback, ways in which I can improve the show. One of the things that I started doing with the first episode is making sure that I have timestamps included for all the particular topics. So shortly after the show, the video description will be updated with timestamps. So for people who just want to scrub for particular topics, that is there for you. Also, if you guys are watching it, let me know if you want particular portions of the podcast to be clipped as individual uploads. So for those who just don't want to scrub through the stream for whatever reason, would you rather prefer it after the stream we just put it up as individual highlights? Should we do that on its own separate channel? Whatever you guys have as far as feedback is concerned, comment down below and let me know. Now, like I said before, this is different from Ask Neo, so it's not basically a free-form, free-flow Q&A. I'm not going to be replying to the chat as much by comparison to Ask Neo. I'm going to be saving all types of discourse and interactions with y'all for the topic breaks in between. So what we do and how it's highlighted is we have particular topics that we discuss, and then afterwards we take like 2 to 3 minutes where I look at the chat, I look at you guys, what you said, maybe talk about some things, you guys give your feedback. And it's also a great way, if you guys are super chatting, to have your particular opinions highlighted on the channel. And then later on, towards the end of the show, we do have about like 15, 20, depending on how fast we get through the show. We have basically like a mini Ask Neo, where, you know, any of the topics that we discuss that you guys want my opinion on, I can discuss it. Or if we just have random banter as we do on Ask Neo, you guys can also talk about that. But so if you guys are asking questions in the chat, or you're wondering why I'm not responding to it as much, it is for the betterment of the show. And, you know, it's just one of the things that I want to make sure with this show, it knows exactly what it is. So we're not really blending the lines between what is Ask Neo and what is this show. Last order of business, great ways to support the channel. All my social media outlets are going to be down below in the video description, from my Twitter page, my Instagram account, our Discord community, the Phantom Weirdos. Basically, any type of outlets and ways you guys want to reach out to me, ask me questions, it's going to be down there. In addition to that, I want to shout out all the people who've been donating super chats, in addition to folks who have been subscribing to the channels. We have a lot of channel members here joining us tonight, in addition to the mods. So you guys know the business. Spam your favorite channel emotes and badges down below, some of the stuff that you guys find interesting. And yeah, we are going to dive into the show straight, because I know we got to get to the juicy stuff. But beforehand, I do want to tackle one more super chat coming in from the homie KY Han, who donated $4.99. Thank you so much for that, my man. He's talking about something we discussed in the pre-show with the Nintendo Switch. It's not luck. 80% of software sold on Switch, and even more of the software revenue is first party, been this way since the Wii. So of course that's going back to what we were discussing before with Nintendo and how they're absolutely killing it, which that's just what they're doing, man. The Switch is just, it's a behemoth. It's a powerhouse, man. And it's going to continue with that Switch 2 whenever it drops. I mean, we're going into the twilight years of, well, this is the twilight year of the Switch. They've been banging out all types of crazy content, and it's leading up towards the successor, man. And I'm excited. I can't wait. That Switch 2 is going to be a day one. But the thing with the Switch 2, and honestly, I never thought I would say this, but the Switch 2 for me going forward is going to be the platform that's only for exclusives. I know that sounds very strange, considering that's what a lot of people in the community who have multiple systems, they say about the Switch. It's like, well, I buy the Switch to play the Nintendo games. And that's true, but for the longest time, you guys know, when I got the Switch, I was buying a lot of games on it that were multi-platform. Things that I could play on my PlayStation or my PC or my Xbox, I was buying those on the Switch, because provided there wasn't a drastic difference in terms of how the games ran and the performance, I liked playing it portably. I'm that type of person. I took my Switch places with me. I like playing it in bed. It's just that whole shtick. But now that I have the Steam Deck, and just how great of a device that is, and how my entire Steam digital library transfers over with that, to me, it makes the Switch 2 less of a compelling buy for anything outside of exclusives, because you can get better games on Steam, you can get better deals on Steam, and they're guaranteed to run better on Steam with all the tinkering and things that you can do. But that being said, I'm still going to be very excited for the Switch 2 when that comes out, and I I really want to see how they're going to handle the backwards compatibility sort of stick. I don't think it's going to be a situation where it's like a PC where every game is just automatically going to run better. I would love that. The dream of, like, let's say, for example, you have a Switch 2 and you just put Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in, and then it's just infinitely better. The resolution is better and all that stuff. Obviously, we'd have to see patches come out for the system. God forbid they go out and they do like Switch 2 specific versions of those games. I wouldn't want them to do that, but knowing Nintendo, they are the company that could get away with that. But yeah, that being said, we'll talk more about the Switch 2 when it's properly announced within the next year or so. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Man Listen, our weekly news roundup series where we talk about the craziest things that have happened in the gaming industry. Last week, we took a bit of a time off from it and we didn't have an episode considering there really wasn't that much to discuss. And my main goal with this series is not to just get on camera, get on stream, and talk about stuff for the sake of talking about it. If it's something that I find particularly interesting and I'm excited about, I'm definitely going to stream. But if it's something that's really not much of anything and it's just random stuff like looking at the Circana sales charts for games in particular regions, I'm not going to get on here and stream it. So that's the reason why we took last week off and we had an Ask Neo as opposed to this. However, considering there's just going to be a lot of crazy stuff happening in the next 2 weeks, you guys know Man Listen is here to stay. So we might as well just get into the main big topic of the week. Normally I like to do like warm-up topics just to get us primed for the show and for people to go ahead and just talk about these things. But I just want to talk about this because it is the biggest announcement of the week, the biggest announcement of the month, the biggest announcement of the year, judging by all the views. And that, of course, is, ladies and gentlemen, the trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We finally got our first look at the next installment in the GTA series. And it's just so surreal to think about it for a lot of reasons. So the first things first, we're going to be playing a new Grand Theft Auto in the next 2 years. That is just such a weird sentiment. It's such a weird feeling considering I thought for the longest time Grand Theft Auto 5 would be the only GTA game that we play for years on end, because that's what it's felt like. Obviously, they would have to move on to the next generation of consoles, but when you have a situation like GTA Online, we used to live in an era where there used to be multiple Grand Theft Autos per system. Now, it's basically multiple systems per Grand Theft Auto. Isn't that crazy how the GTA experience on the PlayStation 2, you had 3 GTAs, and then GTA 5 had 3 PlayStations? It's absolutely insane to think about, but that was just the reality we were living, man. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013, and they managed to somehow milk that game into oblivion, and obviously it's because of GTA Online and how lucrative of experience that is, and I'm just so fascinated with how they were able to support that, because Grand Theft Auto 4's online was big, but you know, it wasn't anything crazy compared to a lot of the contemporaries in the space. But Grand Theft Auto Online and what they did and how they transitioned that from the PlayStation 3 onto the PlayStation 4 and then onto the PC and then onto the next generation of systems, people love it. And then when you get into the role-playing server scene and everything, it's absolutely insane, man. I'm definitely in my old man energy era. I don't understand half the stuff that people are doing on GTA, but people are having fun, people are spending money, and people are buying multiple copies of that game. GTA is like, what? The biggest game of all time, obviously from dollar revenue, but I think in terms of copies sold, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, Grand Theft Auto 5 is like what, number 2, number 1, next to like Tetris or something crazy like that. And mind you, this game is 10 years old. Tetris is way more than 10 years old. But we knew a new Grand Theft Auto was inevitable. When we were going to get that, we don't know. Rockstar obviously doesn't want to rush things out. They are not a company that's just gonna, well, unless you're re-releasing GTA games, of course, like with the Grove Street games and the GTA PlayStation 2 trilogy. But they take their time with this, and usually the games that we get are generational defining experiences. Even though you might have some issues with them, they are just the talk of the town. Red Dead Redemption 2 was their last release back in 2018, if you could believe it or not. And now we got our first trailer for GTA 6, which is launching in 2025, my friends. 2025, we have got the next GTA game. So let's talk about the release date of it real quick. I've seen a couple of people pointing to the release date and questioning like, why would they announce a game 2 years out? Why would they give this release date of 2025? Like, a lot of people expected, for whatever reason, this game was coming out in 2024. If you've been following Rockstar Games, if you've been playing their games in any capacity in the past 10 years, you know those games don't stick to dates. They just don't. Like, let's just take the last game, for example, Red Dead Redemption 2. That game was announced in 2016. I believe it was like fall 2016. They said it was coming out in 2017. They pushed it to spring 2018, and then it ended up coming out in fall 2018. It's just the nature of the business when it comes to game developments. If you see a game, not every game can be like a Devil May Cry 5, where we announce it, and then a couple months later, we have the date for you, and it sticks to that date. I would love for every game to pull a Devil May Cry 5 or a Fallout 4, but that's just not the reality of the world we live in. And when you get into the topic of hype culture and the business side of things with investor relations, for some games out there, they announce them for particular reasons. First off, if a game is early in development, it's usually done to attract talent to people in the studio, from the business side of things, to generate hype and show like, hey, yo, this is our next big thing. Get excited for the next thing. And then when you're looking at the engagement of Grand Theft Auto 5, like, bro, GTA 6 and what it was able to pull off in the first 24 hours. We'll talk about the numbers and the metrics a little bit later. But yeah, there's a big reason why they wanted to announce this. And the fact that they said 2025, like, that's kind of a non-issue. Like, there's no way in the world someone's going to look at that date and be like, that's terrible. I'm angry about it. Absolutely not. So if they announce it as 2025, I just see that as a very realistic point for them to release the game. I mean, the game has been in development for multiple years now. I assume that every single person and their mom and the janitor is working on it over at all the multiple Rockstar studios. And when you have a game like this, that, as surreal as it to think, you guys, as surreal as it to think, this is going to be the next Grand Theft Auto game for the foreseeable future. I'm talking about not the next 10 years, you guys. I'm talking about the next 12 to 15. If the way that they are crafting this game, and they've been crafting it for the past couple of years, if it is going to be anything like how a lot of these ongoing live service games as a service titles are, this game, people are not going to be putting this down. And I'm not just talking about in terms of like the content that support it and getting people excited for it. No, this thing is going to get streams and streams of content, and just, it's going to be evolving. It is going to be an evolving game, and I would not be surprised if we get different locales in this new GTA 5. I'm so used to saying GTA 5. It's so fucking weird to say 6 now. I can count, you guys. I can assure you of that. But with the ways that this is going to be supported, Vice City being the setting of this game, great return to form. But I don't think that that's going to be the only locale in the game. With just how they're describing it and how it's being developed for current gen systems in mind, we're going to see some other stuff in there, and that's going to be absolutely insane to see. So that 2025 date, it makes a lot of sense. They're trying to get this right. And yeah, as far as when I think this is going to release, I mean, they said 2025. A lot of people are thinking it might hit spring. I'm a realist when it comes to game development. It's going to be a fall title. Bar some crazy miracle, like we see a lot of gameplay blowouts of this in 2024, maybe it'll hit spring like GTA 4 did and Red Dead Redemption 1 did. But just based off of how things are and how they operate in the industry, Rockstar, they could release this game on January 1st if they wanted to. But knowing them, it's probably going to be no sooner than, if I had to guess, spring 2025. I'm thinking maybe May. At the latest, probably fall 2025. I'm thinking maybe September, possibly pushing into November. Either way, the video game industry does have a problem on their hands, because ain't nobody trying to release anything next to GTA. Like this, okay, going back and having a little bit of a history, do you guys remember when the first edition of Grand Theft Auto 5 launched? I'm talking about on the PS3 and 360. Do you guys remember what game released the exact same day as GTA 5 and got completely obliterated? Do you guys remember what game? First person in the chat. First person in the chat to get this. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Everybody should know this. Especially if you are a Nintendo fan. You should know this game. Yep. Roxas 180. Wonderful 101. Yeah. That game, for whatever reason, Nintendo, it was like, yeah, we're going to publish this game on the same day as GTA 5. Counter programming, because, you know, GTA is not coming out on the Wii U. So we're going to release this game for Wii U owners. Man, that was the worst decision in the world. Like, bro, they completely tanked that game. Oh my God. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. The video games industry, they've got two options. Either you're going to release all your games in 2024 or you're going to release all your games in 2026. Either way, steer clear of GTA 6. Okay, see, I almost said GTA 5 for a second. So now that we've gotten like just the whole intro of it out of the way, let's talk about the trailer. Now, I'm a little hesitant to show the trailer footage in this, just considering with how video games are with copyright, and in addition to just how we've been seeing a lot of stuff in terms of, you know, like questionable content for advertisers and how they might strike a video. So I'm not going to strike it. I'm not going to show it just in fear of that. But I'm sure you guys have seen the trailer. I've watched it multiple times at this point. I've watched it on my phone. I've watched it on my LG C3 OLED, and the game is looking fucking crispy. In terms of visuals, oh man, the people that were saying somehow this game would be a downgrade, I don't see that whatsoever. I'm seeing a lot of beautiful, beautiful stuff. And the thing about this game, and what Rockstar is really, I wouldn't necessarily say they are unmatched at, but in terms of sheer scale, just the density of the world, the amount of NPCs that are on the beach, the amount of NPCs that we are seeing in the city, a lot of the crazy antics that are happening. If all of this stuff is as playable as it looks in the trailer, man, we are in for a treat. Like one of the things they always say when it comes to open world games is we're just trying to make them feel more alive and more immersive and more this. I feel like GTA 6 is going to be that game. I feel like it's going to be that game that just, you know, not necessarily redefines the way we play open world games, but it just delves deeper and deeper in how expansive these titles could be. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the buildings in this game are explorable. I remember that was one of the things we were talking about with GTA 4 back in the day, you know, with the power of the Blu-ray disc, you know, 50 gigabytes. Is it possible for us to explore all the buildings in it? I remember that was like one of the discourses people were talking about back then. But no, we are really getting to that point now where in terms of visual fidelity for an open world game, in terms of seamless transitions, in terms of just going inside buildings and all of them being unique, population, density, all of that stuff, a living, breathing world, like this could be that game. And I'm excited for that. I wouldn't be surprised if Grand Theft Auto 6 is really one of the first current gen games that truly feels like it only have been done with new hardware. Now, we've had a couple of current gen games that have come out that have looked good, that have looked great from a graphical point of view. Some of them have some really killer features, courtesy of the solid state drive in these new consoles. But when we're talking about something that is just fundamentally like top to bottom, a showcase of what is possible, I think we have to leave it in Rockstar's hands. So on that front, I'm excited for the world. Vice City, just going back to that universe is just, I say universe, like it's like they haven't been there before. It's like we're hopping different universes from Liberty City to Vice City and Los Santos. They're all separate in the multiverse. But just going back here and just being able to explore the city, I'm so fucking excited for it, you know, because this is something from 20 fucking years ago. And now 20 plus years later, seeing it reborn, oh my God, it's awesome. It is so cool. We didn't really get too much in terms of the story of the game for obvious reasons, because this was a debut trailer. They just wanted to be a showcase of things that are possible. But just looking at the main characters here, we did get a little bit of an insight into who they are. The two protagonists right here, you know, the worst kept secret in all of gaming. It's going to be a male protagonist and a female protagonist. Not the first female protagonist in the Grand Theft Auto series, because if you want to get technical and go back to the really, really old GTA games, you have it. But like, let's just be real. In the modern era, first playable female protagonist in the new style of GTA games. So far, I gotta say, I'm really digging. What's her name? Lucia. I'm loving her. And I have barely even known her. Like, I've only known her for about 5 seconds, but I think she looks so fucking dope, man. She is a baddie. She looks like she's got a badass story attached to her. Homeboy over here, I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't really know what he's hitting for. Like, it just nothing about him seems enticing. He only had one word in the trailer. But in terms of the vibe that we're getting, this whole Bonnie and Clyde aesthetic going on, oh, I'm here for that shit. And one thing that I really hope that they do with this game in particular, in terms of the story, I really want them to focus up the narrative between these two people. I love GTA 5's campaign. I love those three characters. I think what they pulled off was great. But there really wasn't the narrative was not as strong as, let's say, Grand Theft Auto 4, for example. Grand Theft Auto 4 gets a lot of flack for obvious reasons. But in terms of the narrative, the story of Niko Bellic, this guy trying to make it in Liberty City in America, it just felt like there was a better story being told as opposed to GTA 5, which GTA 5 was a very entertaining ride. But in terms of the character development that you would have wanted for all three of them, it just wasn't there. So if we are going to get like just two playable characters in here, and the story between them is really, really tight knit and it overlaps with one another, and it's not just like, okay, you're going to do, Trevor's missions, and then you're going to do Franklin's missions, and then you're going to do Michael's missions, and then somehow sometimes they're going to come together. I think that they have a really good opportunity to tell a great, great narrative, because Rockstar, in my honest opinion, is still unmatched when it comes to open world narrative stories. At least in the sense that it's extremely, extremely digestible for the masses. In terms of the production value, in terms of in terms of storytelling, Red Dead Redemption 2 and what they did with Arthur Morgan as a protagonist. Arthur Morgan is I don't want to say he's my all-time favorite protagonist, but he's in the top 3. And that is absolutely insane, because when I first started playing Red Dead Redemption, I was bored out of my fucking mind. And then the more and more I played the game and what they did with that character and that story, bro, every single time I think about Red Dead Redemption 2's story, man, a fucking tear comes down. Like, what they did in that game, in my opinion, is their magnum opus. I don't need GTA 6's campaign to be like Red Dead Redemption's in terms of telling that type of a personal story. But if I see the craziness of Vice City, if I just get like one of the best blockbuster campaigns with really good, relatable characters, with just the top-notch Rockstar writing, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. In terms of some of the other stuff that we saw in the trailer, I mean, like I said, we're playing with two protagonists. One of the things that a lot of people were scared about with Rockstar is they were wondering, is Rockstar going to shy away from some of the more... Oh, okay, how do I say this? So the industry, the climate at large is a very different place than it was in 2013 when GTA 5 came out. Some of the things that people thought were acceptable back then are not as acceptable now, some of them for obvious reasons. But the thing about GTA that I always tell people is that, because people always come for GTA, like if it's not like the religious right-wing people from back in the day saying that GTA 5 is the devil, it's Satan incarnate, blah, blah, blah. Now you have the super duper hyperly sensitive liberals saying that, oh my God, this is terrible and it's problematic and everything. The thing about GTA is that it does not discriminate with its discrimination. GTA makes fun of everybody. Everybody is a target in GTA. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown. It doesn't matter if you are Asian. It doesn't matter if you've got disabilities. Like, GTA is going to roast the fuck out of everybody, and that is something that I really hope they maintain. Another thing a lot of people are worried about with GTA is that, hey, this is a new era of GTA. Are we going to get the debauchery? Are we going to get the scantily clad beautiful women? Are we going to get the dudes who are jacked on roids? Are we going to get all this crazy stuff? Are we going to get I'm just being honest, we're going to get the niggatry in this bitch, bro? And just judging based off the trailer, all that stuff is there. Man, listen, I got to tip my imaginary hat. If I had a hat, I want to tip that over to Rockstar Games, because what I saw in this trailer, I saw a lot of ass. I saw a lot of titties. I saw a lot of ass and titties at the same time. I saw a lot of twerking. I saw a lot of gangbanging. I saw a lot of beautiful shit. Crispy 4K, high definition, Ultra HD. And I love it. I'm here for this shit, bro. Especially considering this game is taking place in Florida. Dude, the amount of Florida representation alone, they need to be applauded for that. The craziest stuff. And one of the cool things is that a lot of people have started take certain snippets of the trailer and be like, yo, they pulled this straight from the news. This was a video. This was a viral video and they're recreating it. It's good to see that we have the degeneracy. We need that, man. And it's sad to say that some of that stuff has been going away in modern day media. Some of it, like I said, for obvious reasons, you know, some things, sure. But when it comes to something like GTA, it makes fun of everybody. Everybody is a target, and that's been the fun about it. It's been the best part about GTA. It's satire. It's satire on freaking American media, bro. Like, come on now. But yeah, you know, shout out to Rockstar for having the debauchery. I'm just here for this shit, bro. I don't know if I can stress this enough. And yeah, you know, I might be a little biased. I might be a little biased when it comes to talking about this new GTA game because it stars a big booty Latina. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to. I am tired of covering up for the fact that I like my women a certain way. I like my women Latinas, and I like them to have big booties. Like, I'm just, it just is what it is, bro. Cancel me for what you want, bro. But it is what it is, and they're giving that to me. Damn, she got a lot of money, man. She making it rain. That's actually all the money that I gave her for Let Me Not. But yeah, man, listen. Shout out to Rockstar. She's gorgeous. She's amazing. I know Latinas who look just like her, and she thick too, bro. Like, that's great. That's great, man. That's great. That's great. But yeah, dude, GTA 6 is looking pretty fucking good, man. It's looking pretty fucking good. I'm so excited for it. If you guys couldn't tell already, and man, like I always say before, I don't really get excited for games until I have them in my hands, because you know, just with deceptive marketing and just how long it takes for games to come out. It's hard to get excited for shit. But this right here, it made me feel like a kid again. Like, I haven't been this excited for a game that's coming out in 2 years, and I go against my preconceived notions in a while, dude. In a while. Like, I was excited for Spider-Man 2, and then after that, it's just like, all right, we'll just see it when it comes out, man. I'll get excited when I play it. But this shit right here, bro, maybe it is the big booty Latinas. It could be the big booty Latinas. I'm just, you know, maybe I am biased, you guys. I could be. But yeah. But the last thing I will say in terms of closing out the discussion on GTA 6, and these are just a couple of, you know, like just little housekeeping things we learned after the trailer dropped. The game, like I said, it's going to be launching in 2025. So far, it's only slated for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles. No mention of PC, and thank God it's not going to be current gen. I mean, last gen. Well, you could tell based off of those visuals. Yeah, this was not coming to no PS4 or Xbox VCR. Hell no. That's a blessing in disguise. I mean, honestly, I was kind of worried. I was worried that this was going to be cross-gen because technically speaking, GTA 4 never got... the PlayStation 4 never got an exclusive GTA game for that generation. It just got a port. So they could have done that. But considering their vision for the future, it makes no sense to put it on a machine that's got like 2011 hardware. Like, hell no, dude. So yeah, I'm very glad about that. A lot of people are pissed off though that it is not coming to the PC at launch. Now that could change depending on how far they get into development. But just knowing Rockstar, when was the last time a Rockstar game launched day one on PC? I'm struggling to remember, because every single time they've put out a GTA game, it's been console exclusive for like a year or so, and then it launches on PC. Like GTA 5 didn't come out with the consoles, it came out on PC later. Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't come out on consoles with PC. PC came later. So it's going to be the same thing with GTA 6. I mean, that kind of sucks, because that means that, hypothetically speaking, if you had to wait a whole year and it comes out fall 2025, that's a fall 2026 game. Hypothetically speaking. If it's something like 3 to 6 months later, okay, that's fine. But a whole year later, dude, that's surreal to think about. That PC gamers might have to wait 3 years. So I can tell you guys, you better fucking get that console, man. Like, what's the thing? Xbox Series S is like, what, $150 with the gift card? But no, y'all. PC gamers, listen, PC gamers, I know you and your $10,000 rigs. Listen, I get it. You want to play games at the crispiest of settings. Y'all don't want to be missing no GTA 6. Like, I'm sorry. Just put aside your laurels and just go cop a console for GTA and then return it. Like, I don't know how long you're gonna be playing the game for, but just cop a console, return it. Do not miss out on GTA 6 unless you want to wait a year. But man, couldn't be me, bro. Couldn't be me. Could not be me, right? I got a PlayStation 5. I got an Xbox Series X. I'm not gonna miss out on GTA 6. I will play that game at whatever settings they have. It just is what it is. I'm excited for the game, dude. Like, come on now. Now that brings in another question. GTA, it's so weird. We're talking about performance modes for a game that's 2 years out. This is wild. This is insane. What do you guys think as far as performance is concerned? Oh, this man said, I'm glad PC users are missing out. He said, those filthy pirates. What do you guys think as far as performance of the game? Me personally, I would not be surprised if this game launches at 30 FPS. I do not foresee them doing some type of performance mode just based off of the current gen systems, the density of this game. Having a performance mode, I don't think it's possible unless they really scale back on some of the things for that mode. And at that point, it feels like you're doing a different game in terms of how it looks, right? So this game being at 30 FPS, possibility maybe you could get a 40 FPS fidelity mode. But realistically, I'm thinking 30 FPS for the base consoles. And then if we do get a refresh, let's say the PS5 Pro, maybe that can get it to 60, possibly. But for this type of game, if it's, I know this is an oxymoron. If it's a smooth 30 FPS, I know, crucify me, I know. But you guys know on consoles, there are just certain games that run better at 30 than others. Games like Red Dead Redemption 2 run better at 30 than a lot of other games out there. Games like Spider-Man run better at 30 than a lot of other games out there. And that has to do with, you know, the way they're crafting the game and a lot of other technical mumbo jumbo that I'm not getting into, but people in the chat will definitely correct me on. But yeah, games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom run better at 30 when it stays at 30 than most other games. And honestly, I will take that. If it's a very good 30 FPS, I'm okay with playing that until it comes out on PC in a year and I can play it at 60, 120, 240 frames per second, whatever it may be. But yeah, dude, I'm so fucking gassed for GTA 6, man. I can't wait to see more about it. They're probably gonna go radio silent for a while, considering this thing is breaking records. It's already at almost 100 million views. Probably by the end of the stream, it'll be at over 100 million YouTube views. But either way, man, we are so back. We are so back. Rockstar is beating all of the allegations, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. I mean, to be fair, I don't think I'm gonna be getting into the main bulk of what people are going to be playing GTA for, which is the online portion. I'm just going to be a strictly single player campaign guy. And then if they do expansion packs, I'll be there for those day one. But yeah, we'll talk more about that when the game gets closer to launch. This is just so weird, man. We are 2 years out from this. But what did you guys think about the trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6? How many times have you guys watched the trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6? Comment down below and let me know. All right, you guys, so now that we've gotten the main big topic of the show out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a little bit of a break to catch up on a couple of things. Hold on one second. I completely forgot. I can't believe I did. I completely forgot to bring my water with me to the stream. Rookie mistake. I know, you guys. Rookie mistake, but you got to stay hydrated when you're talking about some exciting topics. So, before we dive into the next topic, I want to go ahead and catch up on some of the super chats that you guys have been throwing, making it rain in the chat like I'm a $2 hole on Tuesday nights. Appreciate that, you guys. So we got a couple of super chats that we're going to get to while you guys go ahead and just answer the questions in the chat, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we have a $2 super chat coming in from the homie Long Lip Kevin Samuels. Yes, sir. Who wins? Shin Godzilla, Minus One Godzilla, or Monsterverse Godzilla? That is a fantastic question. So between the three of them, honestly, I am inclined to side with the Monsterverse Godzilla, because if you've seen King of the Monsters and how that man went super fucking Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, it was absolutely insane. And now it looks like he's unlocked Super Saiyan God Rose in the new movie Godzilla v Kong, or it's not Godzilla v Kong anymore, it's Godzilla X Kong. I'm gonna go with the Monsterverse Godzilla just because that man, he's unlocking all the forms, man. He's unlocking it, and I love it. Shout out to Tyrese McDonald for subscribing to the channel. We We have a $5 super chat coming in from Long Live Samuels. Message redacted. I'm not sure why, my friend. And then we have another $5 super chat coming in from Long Live Kevin Samuels. Which music artist should have their own station in GTA 6? I'm going with Tyler, the Creator, or Spaced Ghost Perp. Oh, that's a great question, you guys. And we didn't even talk about that when we were discussing GTA 6. Dude, the radio stations. Holy fucking shit. It's a new GTA game, so we get some crazy radio stations. Rockstar is always good with aggregation of artists, man. Like, one of the craziest things for me was when I first played GTA 5 and I heard Gorillas, and I was like, what the fuck is Gorillas doing in a Grand Theft Auto game? But it was so sick, dude. So yeah, like, dude, that's another thing to get excited about. Nah, honestly, there's a lot of artists they can do. And one thing I love about them is they don't just get big artists. They get underground artists. They get medium-sized artists. They get, like, niggas you don't even think of. They do a lot of cool stuff, man. Dude, just all those radio stations. I cannot fucking wait, dude. Dude, the satire in that game is going to go crazy. Oh, my God. You can already see that they're going to be making fun of people on social media, the TikTok stars. And, oh, dude, I cannot wait, man. I want them to go in, man. I want everyone to catch this work. We have a $5 super chat coming in from Don the Otaku. I heard GTA 6 has side quests on the level of Witcher 3. Okay, so that's an inside joke for those who don't know. On the last stream, I had a bit of a breakdown because I was so sick and tired of every single time there's an open world game or there's just a RPG game in general. People keep saying that it has side missions on The Witcher 3, and then I play these games and I get excited, and then they doesn't have side quests on the level of The Witcher 3. So it makes me wonder, do these people even play The Witcher 3? But I don't know. Knowing Rockstar, maybe they could. I'll give it to Rockstar. They might be able to. Another $5 coming in from Don the Otaku. Rockstar is the only AAA third-party developer who can get away with not releasing a game day and date on PC without any exclusivity. They shouldn't, though. Yeah, I mean, ideally, they should release the game on all platforms at the same time, especially to maximize engagement. But man, if it comes down to, and that's the thing, I can't even say if they want to get the PC development right. They literally print money every day. They could hire a whole separate team to develop the PC version as its own thing. You don't need to expend any more resources from the main team. But, you know, they just don't want to do that for whatever reason. And I mean, hey, they're going to get people to double, triple, quadruple drip on this game multiple times. So I don't, it's crazy, man. Oh, we got the homie Jazzy Jefferson, who's been a member of the Next Hokage tier for the past 20 months. Thank you so much, Mr. Jefferson. I appreciate you, my guy. Sup, Neo? I see you got the water after talking about GTA 6. That one shot of that woman in the white bikini with shades definitely had me thirsty. Hey, yo, we got a lot of thirsty people in the chat. Mr. Jazzy Jefferson, and you I don't know if you were here, my friend, but you missed it. I was thirsting. I was thirsting after the big booty Latinas, bro. It's just to be alive is a beautiful thing. You know what? You guys, you need to pat yourself on the back. You've existed at the exact same time that a new GTA game is coming out with a big booty Latina as the protagonist. Like, I see this as an absolute win. We just keep winning, you guys. We just keep on winning. We just keep on winning. And you love to see it. It's just, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's simply incredible, as our friend, Mr. Jack Move Johnny would say. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Alrighty, but shout out to all the people who've been joining the chat in between the topics. We've got the Penguin Enforcer, Mr. Daniel Pack. What's up, my guy? Who else is in here? We got NKDN 182. What's up? What's up? Scrolling up, we got Pap in the chat. We got Shay Thomas. GTA 6 equals BBL. I mean, hey, listen, it is in Miami, bro. It is in Miami. They go in there to get those BBL discounts. You know what that is. It's crazy, man. We're in an era now where there's probably going to be some people who are doing like BBLs on Klarna or Afterpay. Jesus, man. Could you imagine that? Yeah, get a BBL for, you know, six monthly installments. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. We got Melissa and Alex's family in the chat. I'm so glad they aren't bending to the cancel culture crowd. Yeah, that'd be the most boring and mundane GTA ever. Like, seriously. We got Black Dragon in the chat. We got Deviant Assassin. She reminds me of Revy from Black Lagoon. Yes, sir. People have been pointing that out. Black crop top with the jeans booty shorts. Oh, yes. You are a fellow man of culture. Speaking of Black Lagoon. Oh, you guys know what it's about. You know what it's about. Yes, sir. And shout out to the homie Valkian24. He actually bought me this box set. I want to say it was like 10, 11 years ago of Black Lagoon and Black Lagoon, the second barrage. Great fucking series. Great series if you haven't seen it. Oh, that just brought me back. Oh, we got the homie K-Cube in the chat. What's up? Wonder if they feature the Red Pill community in GTA 6 or even parody of Fresh and Fit. Oh, you know that's going to happen, man. You know that is going to happen. We got a $5 super chat coming in from Saeed Johnson. With Godzilla, the Japanese entertainment industry is actually entertaining the fans while Hollywood institutions like Disney keep on failing. Yeah, so we're actually going to discuss that a little bit after we do the review of Godzilla 1, Saeed. So yes, man, yeah, just so buckle on tight. That's actually going to be a whole topic in and of itself. Alrighty, we'll go for about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to get into the Godzilla Minus One review. Remember the anime since watching on Dulcim Tsunami around spring of 2014? That was a great anime, though. Yeah, Black Lagoon is great, dude. Black Lagoon is awesome. Yeah, that GTA 6 hype is in the chat. It's crazy, bro. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful time, man. Everyone is excited. Everyone is excited. Everyone is united, except for the weirdo grifters online who have an issue with the female protagonist for some reason. But you know how they do. They gotta go ahead and they gotta get their clicks, blue check marks. Gotta be paid. How much you think GTA 6 is selling in its first week? I need your predictions. Dude, what did GTA 5 do? Didn't GTA 5 do like almost $1 billion in 3 days? Let me just double check how much GTA 5 did. GTA 5 opening sales. I think it did like 930 something, 950 million in the first 3 days. So it is not out of the realm of possibility that GTA 6 does like $1 billion in a day. Like, I would not be surprised. But if I had to guess, oh my God. So GTA 5 earned $800 million in its first day and $1 billion in its first 3 days. In the first day, it sold 11 million copies. The first day. In the first 5 days, it sold 16 million. Dude, this thing, dude, it is not out of the realm of possibility to say in the first day, we're probably going to see like 30 million. I would not be shocked, dude. Like 11 million, and that was in 2013. The gaming landscape has gotten immensely more popular. It's gotten huge. This game is not only going to break records, but it's also going to move consoles. Oh my God. Like, dude, on one day, I'm thinking 30 million. Oh my God. Guys, there's a real possibility that this game could do 100 million units in like the first week or the first 2 weeks, man. Definitely, it's got to be like no less than 30 million. No less than 30 million on the first day. I don't think it's going to open soft. 30 million. Oh, shout out to Daniel Pack for subscribing to the Phantom Weirdo tier. Dude, 30 million, I want to say first day. First week, probably 50, 60. It's just so weird to talk about it like this. Like, oh, this one game is going to sell that much. Holy shit. 500 million? No way. Maybe Lifetime, but not like the, not like, you know. So, okay, so let's look at the console sales. So by that point in 2013, there was like what? Like 70, 80 million PlayStation, 70, 80 million Xboxes. Let's say it's like around 150. Let's just be realistic. Like 150 million consoles where GTA 5 sold. By this point in 2025, PS5 should be like what? Closing in on 100 million? Xbox, if they get their shit together, like they should have more consoles out there. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm still sticking to my bet. 30 million first day. 30 million first day. 60 million first week. Because if it did 11 million units first day, 16 million units in 5 days on an install base of 150 million, like this, there's no way it sells anything less than that. Bar them doing something crazy like the game being $200. The first game ever to be $200. First game with 1 billion units sold? Well, 1 billion units? Oh, I could see. Oh, golly. It could get close. I think it's definitely going to outsell GTA 5 within, like, what, the first year? What, the first year? Dude, only Rockstar. Dude, the first year or two, it's going to outsell GTA 5. Unless, like I said, there's something crazy that happens that prevents it. But damn, that would be insane. 30 million units in one day. 30 million units in one day. But yeah, we'll definitely revisit this topic soon. But yeah, it's definitely time for us to head into the next topic of the night, which is not necessarily a topic. It's more of a review, our first actual review on the channel. Man, listen, you guys know I love watching movies, right? I love going to the cinemas. I love going to the theater. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I've loved going to movies. It's one of my favorite hobbies to do, especially as I'm an adult. I try to go out to the movies at least 2 to 3 times a month. And when you have subscriptions like AMC A-List and the Regal's variant of it, I don't know, it doesn't sound as cool by comparison to AMC's. But I love going to movies. I love being in the theater. I love watching a film with the best possible picture quality, the best possible sound. It's awesome. It's an experience, right? But the thing is, every now and then, you take a chance on a movie when you go into a theaters. You take a chance on a movie where it's like, you don't know anything about it. Most of the time these days, you watch a trailer. If you see something's interesting, you go and see it. But then sometimes you go into a movie blind. And that's what I did with this most recent movie I watched. That being Godzilla Minus One. Now, I'm no stranger to the world of kaiju flicks. I've watched a lot of kaiju films in my day. Not as much as a lot of people out there who watch all the different variants and the variants of the variants. But, you know, I love Godzilla, you know. Love the OG movie. I loved Godzilla when he was in his really wacky era. I loved Godzilla when they rebooted him and he was just so like visceral and raw. And, you know, I've come to love all different variations of it. You know, Godzilla being an anti-hero, Godzilla being an asshole, Godzilla being this just kooky dude who's just drop kicking people in the air. You know, it's just one of the things being a kaiju fan, you just love these things, right? You just learn to love it. But ever so often, you get a movie that comes out that really redefines what it means to be a kaiju film. A movie that challenges the norm of what it means to be a kaiju film. That challenges all the preconceived notions of what you would have for a kaiju film. And that's what Godzilla Minus One did. Godzilla Minus One was, again, a movie that I had no prior knowledge of whatsoever. I saw snippets of a trailer. I saw the poster. Poster looked pretty fire. And it's a Godzilla movie playing in the States. Of course, I want to see it. I want to see it in theaters. But I had no real expectations going into it, right? What I watched last Wednesday was my favorite movie-going experience of 2023. Godzilla Minus One is one of the best films of 2023. Godzilla Minus One, honestly, I'm gonna have to give it a couple more nights sleep on it and watch it a few more times. But it may very well be the greatest monster movie of all time, and for a lot of the reasons that folks are not expecting. So I mentioned before, there's a lot of preconceived biases and notions when it comes to the monster movies, the kaiju flicks. It's just a bunch of dumb action. It's just a bunch of dumb action. We're here for the monsters. We don't care about anything else. Just put the big fucking monsters doing this and that, and we're just fighting like toys. Sure. But every now and then you get a monster movie that has a really good central human component to it. It could be you caring about the characters. It could be a commentary on things. That's something I really love about particular Japanese Godzilla movies, is that a lot of them are just commentary on the things that were happening in Japan. Like the original Godzilla movie, Gojira, when that came out, there was a lot of stuff in it that wasn't, let's just say, oh, big monster, run from big monster. There was a lot of commentary on it. Godzilla Minus One echoes that era of Godzilla more than anything we have ever seen. This is a movie that Godzilla himself is in it, but he is not the main selling point. Godzilla and his role in this movie is exactly what so many of the monster movies that we've gotten recently, not just American monster movies, but also, for a lot of the, Japanese era, a lot of those movies too, what it's been missing. Creating compelling narratives surrounding characters with emotion, with weight, with gravitas, where you question every single moment that they're on screen, what's going to happen next. And it's done to the backdrop of an amazing, iconic monster, that being Godzilla. Dude, I can't speak highly about this movie more than I already have. Like, I'm trying to skirt around spoilers because there's some really awesome stuff in this movie that happens. But this is a movie. It's a rare example of a film that not only satisfies fans of the IP, unabashed with its love for the IP, honoring the legacy of the IP, but it's a Godzilla movie for everybody to enjoy. Everybody can go watch this movie and not have to worry about it. If you are on the fence about watching this film because you think that it's a monster movie, I've seen, a couple of them, they don't really vibe with me. I don't want to see just a dumb action movie. I'll just wait for it to hit streaming. No, I implore you to watch the film, man. Watch it. Godzilla in this film, dude, it was so refreshing to see Godzilla be an asshole again. I love the whole anti-hero Godzilla. I love, we love Godzilla. We care about Godzilla. But when you see Godzilla come and he's just like, I don't give a shit about any of you guys. I'm going to cause some havoc. That stuff is great. And what's really interesting about this movie is it was produced on a budget of only $15 million, right? But it doesn't feel like that. This movie feels a lot more expensive than it actually is. Every single shot in the film is just so masterfully done. And when you see Godzilla on screen the first time you're looking at it, you're just like, okay, that's Godzilla for a $15 million movie. All right, fine. Okay. But then as you get later and later in the movie and as the plot progresses and as you see Godzilla start getting bigger and bigger and bigger, oh, fuck. That is, how is this a $15 million movie? It's absolutely insane, dude. And it's crazy because Godzilla, he's got good action scenes in this movie, but they're not the typical action scenes you would expect in a monster film. It's not Godzilla fighting Ghidorah or Rodan or any of those. It's just Godzilla being a menace to society, to humans. And it's not just that he's destroying stuff and destroying planes and everything. He's done that. He does that. But it's just how they use him. It's basically, the best way I could describe it is, so take Godzilla 2014, a movie that I like. I know it's very divisive. Some people don't like it because, focuses on the wrong things. And then when they use Godzilla, it's like, oh, there's Godzilla, cut away to Godzilla. So you don't really get as much Godzilla as you'd want till the end. This movie, the scenes that Godzilla's in are just breathtaking, bro. There's a scene in this movie where there are characters who are on a tugboat, right? Characters on a tugboat, they're just doing their thing, whatever, and they're trying to, destroy these mines. And then Godzilla comes out. And then all you see of Godzilla is just the top of his head. And there's this tugboat, and there's Godzilla in the top of his head, and he's just slowly swimming towards them. That was one of the most intense scenes of the movie. And mind you, it's an action scene, but there's none of this, the stuff you would expect. But that's what makes it so fucking good. Because they find ways to be like, you know what? We're gonna show you Godzilla, but it's not just gonna be Godzilla destroying shit. It's gonna be random stuff. And it works so fucking well. Godzilla being a hunter, hunting his prey. It's sick, dude. It's so fucking sick. So the way that they handled Godzilla in this movie was phenomenal. Phenomenal. He's on screen a lot. You get a lot of good stuff from Godzilla. It's not a case of less is more. It's literally just, we're going to use him in ways that you don't expect, ways that service the story, and not just to lead into an action beat. Like, we have to have an action beat every 10 minutes. No. There's meaning to this. And I loved that. I loved that because not once in the movie was I questioning, like, okay, yeah, this is going to happen next. I know that, but why am I not just sitting there? Like, you know, when you watch a blockbuster and you're just like, okay, we know this is going to happen because that needs to happen and this and that and that and whatever. It's like, yeah, obviously we know the events and how they're going to unfold, but at the same time, I started questioning myself. Is it really going to go down like this or nah? Like, it's just so well done. And I think the reason why is because so much of the human element and the component with the characters, it makes those moments even better, right? Like horror movies, yeah, they can have great jump scares. You know, they can have good set pieces. But if you don't really care about the characters in the horror movies, you're not really going to give a shit about what they're going through. More often than not, you're just rooting for the killer at the end of the day. It's like, Freddy, just kill these people. You know what I'm saying? But in this movie, you're just like, I really hope these folks survive because you care about them, man. You care about the characters. The main protagonist in particular has a really interesting role to play in the movie. And a lot of this film, you know, it is a commentary on post-World War II Japan. Like, I just realized this recently, but the title of the movie, Godzilla Minus One, the reason why it's called Minus One, I had no idea. I thought it was just a weird Japanese thing. Like, listen, I grew up playing Kingdom Hearts games, and they have Kingdom Hearts games titled Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage, Backdoor, Triple Back Remix featuring Knuckles and Dante from the Devil May Cry series. I just thought it was just whatever. But when you look at it, Minus One, the reason why is because after World War II, Japan was at zero. And then you have Godzilla come into the mix and cause all this mayhem. Where does Japan go from there? -1. And I was just like, oh shit, that's so fucking beautiful. It blew my mind, bro. I don't know if it's exactly legit, but I think that's a good interpretation of it. But the component, the character, the reason why this movie works so well, like I said, is because the characters in the movie and the setting of it being post World War II and everything that did to Japan as a society. And now you throw Godzilla into the mix. And then you run into a situation where this character, again, I'm trying to skirt around spoilers. He's someone who feels really guilty about a thing. And what does that look like on a person? What does a person living in post-World War II Japan, how do they react to life, rebuilding life? And then here comes Godzilla. What does that do to a people? It's a mix of a lot of things in here. It's some really, really heavy shit. And I always think it's so funny when you look at the discourse surrounding about this movie and people are saying, oh, you know, this movie it's not political in the slightest. You know, it's just, there's nothing that it's trying to say. It's just a great fucking movie. It's like, it's just like, oh boy, here y'all go again. But it's just so strong, man. It's so strong. It's great. You give a shit about the characters and what you're going through. And that's something we have not seen in a lot of monster movies. Now, Shin Godzilla, I really enjoyed. I liked Shin Godzilla. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a great Godzilla movie in a sense. Like, Godzilla had some good scenes, but it's Hideaki Anno. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy who did Evangelion. So he had a lot to say with that movie, and I like what he had to say with that movie, but it felt more as if he had more to say than Godzilla was on screen. Shin Godzilla was great, mind you, as a movie, but in terms of satisfying the Godzilla fans and what they'd want, it just, in my opinion, it didn't hit it hit the nail on all the heads. All the other stuff was great. It was basically a commentary about how inept politicians are and everything, which was great. But you know, you would want a little bit more Godzilla isms in there. This movie was the perfect balance of that. It had a story that it wanted to tell. It had a message, and then it also gave you a lot of Godzilla shit in a very, very good way. That's not just gratuitous. And listen, I love gratuitous Godzilla stuff. Trust me, I'm a big fan of Godzilla King of the Monsters. I mean, I hate all the human elements in that film, but in terms of giving me a $200 million budget, huge epic scale with Godzilla, with mind-blowing visual effects and great audio design, Bear McCreary doing the score, absolutely phenomenal. And I love that movie because it satisfies that niche. Whereas Godzilla Minus One satisfied a niche that I didn't even think I ever I mean, I knew I wanted stronger human characters. I didn't know that they would go this fucking strong and still give me great fucking Godzilla shit. It was phenomenal, dude. It was phenomenal. And man, I want to see more of these kind of movies, right? I'm not saying that we can't have both. I would like when people saw this movie, they immediately started shitting on the MonsterVerse. They started shitting on the Godzilla Kong trailer. I'm not that type of person, bro. I love the fact that we are getting a little bit of everything. We have something like Godzilla Kong, which is just bonkers, balls to the wall, Kong and Godzilla running. The scale doesn't make sense. I don't give a fuck. We have Kong with an Infinity Gauntlet and Super Saiyan Rose Godzilla pulling up. Dude, yes. Give me that shit. And the only way we're ever going to get something like that, a $200 million movie, is from Hollywood, right? Yes, in an ideal world, we'd want better written human characters. Absolutely. I know. But we take what we can get. But then we get something like Godzilla Minus One, which is a more personal story. And that is also something that needs to be commended. So I don't think you need to shit on one to prop up the other. I feel like both of them can coexist. And if the fan bases are willing to accept both for what they are, everybody wins, man. Everybody wins. So yeah, Godzilla Minus One was just phenomenal. There's one particular scene in the movie that, listen, it's not a spoiler, considering if you're a Godzilla fan, you know he does the thing. You know he does the thing. He does it all the time. But the build-up to the atomic breath sequence in this movie, I didn't think they could find a way to just, again, reinvent and just take my preconceived notions, because I was a firm believer that, bro, I love the way it was handled in Godzilla 2014. I love the build up to that. And then he just goes like, bah! Like, yo, it was great. But then the way it's done here, bone chilling, bro. I got shivers. I was like, Jesus. And I know I sound like I'm hyping this fucking movie up, but I know I'm not alone with that sentiment, bro. This movie, like, I see movies, and movies that are good, they're good. But movies that are really fucking great, I still think about them. I've thought about this movie every single day since it came out, man. And I know that, like, it just sounds like I'm a hype beast, and every now and then you got people who are hype beasts, like, shout out to Deadly Beast 205 for subscribing to the channel. But bro, it's just so legitimately good, and I don't think it's recency bias. I don't think it's just me getting something I finally wanted and not looking at the flaws of this movie. I legitimately think this is one of the greatest monster movies to ever come out and one of the best movies of the year. It's in my top 5 without question. Well-deserved top 5 without question. So if you guys have an opportunity to go watch Godzilla Minus One, I know it's not playing everywhere around the world. It was a very limited release outside of Japan, but please go watch the movie. You do not need to be a Godzilla fan in any capacity to enjoy this movie. Being a Godzilla fan, you'll probably enjoy it a lot more, but this movie, it does what it's supposed to. It makes a film that's great for everybody. No compromises. There's not a situation where it's only good for the fans. It's not a situation where we're doing something because it's too goofy, so it's going to be for the normies. This is a movie that everybody can enjoy. Everybody can enjoy and find some level of appreciation with it. Very emotional movie. I didn't cry, but there were some people in my theater crying. I was like, the hell? It's a Godzilla movie, bro. it's astounding. And I really hope that the word of mouth is going to prompt Toho, the distribution partners, to do a wider theatrical release. I've heard from some people that there is a chance that more theater screenings are going to be added just because it's done phenomenally well. I think it did like $11 million in its opening weekend, and it was barely playing in theaters, man. You know, I'm so glad I got a chance to see the movie in Dolby because, wow, dude, the sound design of this film was great. And again, the budget of this film was only $15 million. That's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And we'll touch a little bit more on that when we talk about a topic Saeed brought up earlier with the super chat. But it's great, man. If you have a chance, see it in Dolby, watch it in 4DX, watch it on a big IMAX screen. I'm actually going to be watching the movie again tomorrow night. I bought my tickets to see it in IMAX, and I have like one of the biggest IMAX screens around. So, dude, I'm going to be seated for peak. 2 Wednesdays back to back of straight Godzilla peak. One in Dolby Cinema and one in IMAX. And I'm about to be giddy as fuck, bro. I cannot wait. So yeah, you guys, that was just, I don't really necessarily want to call that a review per se. It was just me fucking gushing and fanboying like crazy over Godzilla Minus One. It is well worth your time, well worth the ticket price, and I cannot wait to buy this on 4K Blu-ray. I really hope this thing at some point gets a Criterion release. I don't know if you guys are big into collecting Criterions, but Criterion is top tier, and this is a movie that is well deserved. So Godzilla Minus One, big thumbs up from me. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, man, when have you seen your boy Neo this fucking gassed, man? Like, yo, it was great. Shout out to everybody who's been joining the chat in between. I see we got the homie Level 1 Gaming in the chat. We got Marcus Make Stuff. What's going on? And my boy Godzilla Tommy. Of course, he pulled up. He pulled up at the right fucking time, man. It's like you knew. It's like I put the Godzilla sound effect in the sky, and you just pulled up, man. Dude, it's so fucking great. Oh, it's so fucking great. Shout out to all the people who've been joining. If you guys have enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. We are currently at 71 likes right now. Ooh, and 61 viewers, which is very, very nice. That is very nice. Let's see. We had one super chat come in between the topics. Julian Phoenix, 199. I'm glad this film was in Japanese and not dubbed. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know people like dubs for Japanese movies. It's very strange to me because unless it's an anime, I can't. You're dubbing over human mouth movements that are already precise. I can't vibe with that shit. It makes me feel like I'm watching like a bootleg Chinese movie where it's just dubbed over. Like, I can't deal with that shit, bro. So yeah, sub only is the way to go. Oh man. Beautiful, beautiful indeed. Alrighty. So, as far as the topic of Godzilla Minus One is concerned, we've done the review for it, but earlier on in the stream, Saeed Johnson super chatted discussing the idea of what Godzilla Minus One is as a movie in terms of entertainment, and how they're satisfying the fans with that movie versus what we have gotten in Western media with Disney, and how Disney has had catastrophic failures this year. 2023, I believe, is going to go down as one of the biggest years that a leader has lost so much money. I think in terms of how much money Disney has lost this year, oh my God, dude, it's absolutely insane. I think the only certified hit, big hit for Disney this year was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, unless you're counting the holdover from Avatar Way of Water from last year. But in terms of movies they put out this year, man, you want to talk about flops, you know? Almost every single thing they've put out has been a flop. Like, the Marvel movie's been flopping. The freaking animated movie's been flopping. The live action movie's been flopping. It's been crazy, bro. And honestly, it's well deserved in my honest opinion. I'm not sitting here and acting like I'm a Disney hater, because I'm not a Disney hater. I like a lot of the stuff that Disney has put out. Disney's a part of my childhood, and you know, they own a lot of my favorite properties and entities, like Marvel, like Star Wars, like Pixar. I love Disney. But that being said, one thing that we have noticed from 2019, fast forward to 2023, is that people ain't making the same decisions that they did back in the day, bro. In 2019, I always point to that year because that was a year where Disney was at the top of their game on all levels, bro. They were killing it. Every single movie they put out, for the most part, made $1 billion. Like the Marvel movies. Captain Marvel made over $1 billion. Avengers Endgame made almost $3 billion. You know, their animated movies made mad money. The live action movies, The Lion King made almost $2 billion. Aladdin made, I think it made what, close to $1 billion? It was absolutely insane. Like, what, did Frozen 2 come out in 2019 as well? It was insane. But one thing we've noticed in 2023 is that Disney has not been able to recapture that same energy and that same momentum for obvious reasons. The biggest one, the economy is not that great, so people aren't showing up for stuff the same way. And the biggest elephant in the room is that Disney has really lost their touch when it comes out to putting out content that people would go out to the theater to see. And when you condition your audience for 4 years that you don't have to worry about watching these movies in theaters, you can wait for them to come to Disney Plus. Why in the world would somebody pay almost $20 for a movie ticket, almost $100 for a family of 4 or 5, whatever, to go see a movie that's gonna be on streaming in 3 months, especially with how kids like to rewatch movies? Of course they're going to wait. And the quality angle cannot be denied either. Disney just hasn't been putting out great movies this year. Sure, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was great, but that was great in spite of Disney because of James Gunn, a man that they fired a few years ago, which is so funny to think about. But yeah, all these Disney movies have been flopping, and it's not just a Disney problem. It's a lot of other industries. Warner Brothers as well has taken a lot of L's. The reason why is because the quality is not there, and people aren't going to show up for movies with how expensive as they are if they don't feel like it's worth it, if it's not an event. And it's insane. Bro, they've lost over, I think when it's all said and done, they're probably going to lose like what, close to $1.5 billion based off how many of their movies have flopped this year. COVID, the pivot to streaming, quality, and then just not having as many box office returns in certain territories, like Chinese market, for example. It's terrible for them. And I love that for Disney, because what they need to start doing now is going back to the drawing board and making movies that actually fucking matter, that have heart and soul, and just not doing things for the sake of doing them. Give people a reason to go watch your shit. Don't just do it just because you have the IP. Don't just do it because you're trying to build out the universe. No, if you want to build out the fucking universe and that's what you're doing, I'll wait for a YouTube spoilers breakdown video to see how it builds out the universe. I'm not going there you ain't getting my money for that shit, bro. Absolutely not. And it's good because that sends a message to all these studios that you guys are not invincible. It's beautiful. I love that because for the longest time, man, and I know a lot of y'all have noticed this, it sucked. It sucked being that type of person who's just like, man, we're the minority here. People are just going to show up to the stuff. Like, for example, the Transformers movies. For the longest time, everybody and their mama have known that they were garbage. Trash. Basura. But eventually, their luck run out. Like, after that 4th Transformers movies, people were just like, you know, I think this is enough. I think this is enough. And they didn't show up for the next one. And unfortunately, it rippled further down the road with the newest one, Rise of the Beast, which I thought was fairly decent. I thought it's one of the better Transformers movies, but because the brand had been so damaged, people just didn't want to give it a chance. It was a decent movie. But man, this is what all these studios need to start paying attention to. It's about making great quality product. I don't think it's about appealing to the fans per se, because that's something Saeed said. Oh, this is what happened when Japan, they cater to the fans. Well, Japan also puts out a lot of garbage. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize. Just because you see one really good movie from a territory, that doesn't mean that all their movies are like that. Like, let's be real about life for a second. We're only seeing small examples of really good stuff. Japan, Korea, India, all those places put out just as much garbage as Western media. The reason why we don't focus on it is because, number one, we don't live in those territories. We don't have access to the amount of content. We only get select content from there. So we're not going to see it the same way. when you were inundated with this Western media and this Western content, of course, this is going to be your metric for comparison. So I don't think it's fair to say that, oh, Japan is killing it when it comes to how they handle their movies. Have you seen some of the live action content that Japan has put out based off of anime? Have you seen the live action Fullmetal Alchemist movies? Have you seen the live action Attack on Titan movies? Like, no. It's just an example of people just needing to do their research on certain things. For us, yes, Hollywood is always going to be Hollywood, but Hollywood also puts out really good stuff, and it's up to us as consumers of media to go and support those things. Go and support the good projects. Put the money where the mouth is. That is what matters at the end of the day. All this complaining and whining about, oh, like West and East and blah, 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 that ain't going to give two shits, because if you want shit to be better, you got to support the good content. You got to go out there. You have to watch it on release. You have to support the digital download or the 4K media or whatever, because that's the only way you're going to see more of that stuff. Support the independent studios instead of hate watching stuff, which is what I see a lot of people start doing. Just don't fucking see it. Just don't watch it. You don't need to be a part of the conversation. I had every opportunity to go watch the Marvels. I just didn't want to do it. And it's not because I hate the movie or I think it's terrible. It just didn't look appealing to me. And I'm not going to waste my 2 hours to go watch the movie for me to just say, I could have just been jacking off for 2 hours instead of doing this. And like I said, that's not just the Marvels. That's a lot of other movies that have come out this year. If I see it and it doesn't look interesting, I'm like, whatever. And that's the sentiment a lot of people have. Why would they do that? You need to make these movies events again and support the good shit that comes out. Like, people complaining about, oh, there's no good movies in Hollywood. Have you seen Past Lives? Do you know anything about that movie? It's one of the best movies of the year. Have you seen a lot of the stuff that A24 has put out? Do you know about Robert Eggers? Did you watch The Northman? Like, it's absolutely insane. But again, you have to realize who's speaking when they say these things. It's usually the same people who only watch the big blockbusters. Will always say that stuff. Good content starts with the fans. Good content does start with the fans of stuff and appealing to the fans, but you also need to make a good product too. You need to make something that's good. And we've seen sometimes, like, TV shows, because they do fan service, people assume that that's all that matters. And it's like, no, you need to make a good quality product. Like, when you hear, like, a game or a movie gets bad reviews, oh, well, we made this for the fans. The fans are bad. It's like, nah, you can do both. Godzilla Minus One, you could do both. Godzilla fans love that. Non-Godzilla fans love that. We can do both. It just comes down to just good shit needing to be supported. And that's what we need to do. That's what we got to do, people. But yeah, another thing about Godzilla Minus One I want to speak on, the budget of the movie, that being $15 million. A lot of people are saying, like, how is this movie $15 million and it looks as good? And then you look at Hollywood budgets and they're so bloated and they're like $250 million and look like crap. Oh, absolutely. Yes, Hollywood budgets are inflated. A lot of that money, it's a money laundering scheme. You're wondering where it's going to. Overpaid producers, absolutely. Overpaid actors, you betcha. VFX artists being crunched, people on set being crunched, yeah, you bet. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize, again, about the Japanese industry, is that if you think VFX artists working on Hollywood movies are crunched, go look at some of the animators in Japan and look at how much that they make a week. Look at how much people at Studio Ghibli make. Look at how much people at MAPPA make for the work that they have to do. So yeah, that $15 million, sure, it's you see where that money is used, absolutely. But there's a whole conversation and commentary about the Japanese work industry that a lot of people they want to avoid because they want to use it as a talking point. Like, oh, look at Japan and how good they do with this. Look at the Western animation, how bad it is. It's like, no, Japan has got its fair share of problems as well. And part of that is fair compensation and fair working conditions for their employees. Like that, like both can be mutually true. Hollywood is egregious with the budgets, and it makes no sense when you have a movie like the Marvels come out and it looks like that. And then you can also praise Godzilla 1 for how good it looks, but then realize that, listen, there's a reason why these budgets are low. It's because they're not paying people. But yeah, you guys, that's basically all I really wanted to talk about in terms of topics today. You know, it's 8:30 right now, so you know, it took us about like an hour and a half to get through these two major ones. I'm trying to like save all the discussions about the Game Awards and some of the leaks that are starting to come out. Well, they're not leaks, they're more rumors than anything. I want to save that for next week's show when we do talk about the Game Awards, because I think it'd be just much more interesting to actually speak on the stuff that was unveiled rather than, you know, just like, oh, you know, it's just what we think might happen at the show. But we will go for another 20 minutes or so, and we'll just open it up to a free-form mini Ask Neo. So, guys, go ahead and ask your questions. It could be about anything. It doesn't just have to be entertainment stuff. It could be relationship questions. It could be fitness stuff. If you wanted to send in some super chats and get those answered with priority, you can do that as well. We have a $5 super chat coming in from Don Otaku that came in earlier, saying, the way Neo was so giddy while talking about Godzilla, I will be the exact opposite when I finally get to go in on Scott Pilgrim. I just rewatched it. So this man... Oh, God. So when we have that stream where we do the Colin show and we talk about Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, I'm just going to hand the mic over to Don Otaku. I'll just speak my piece on it, but this man's about to go the fuck in. This man hate watched the show again, just to show that he was not going crazy. He's ready for this shit. But yeah, go ahead and ask some questions, you guys. We'll go for another 20 minutes. All right. Okay. So Andre B. Venom. Hey, Neo, do you think growing older can be a good or bad thing in the long run? Well, whether we classify that as a good or a bad thing is irrelevant, because we are going to always grow, man. We're going to get older. It just is what it is. It's just part of who we are as human beings. We are going to age. That just happens. As a general rule, I just always say, make the best out of every single moment in your life, whatever stage of life you're at. Whether you're 15, 25, 35, whatever, man. Just make sure what you're doing in the moment matters and you are enjoying yourself. And you keep progressing, you keep moving forward. If you're stuck in a rut, you know, finding a way to get out of that rut. Just continue to stay the course, continue to be better. Even if it's just like a small fraction of a percentage, man, that's all it takes. You have to enjoy life in the moment, or else it's going to pass you by. And you're going to wonder, like, what the fuck was I really doing, you know? Like, I'm thankful every single day that I'm able to wake up and I'm alive and I'm able to do stuff. I'm able to breathe. I'm able to walk. I'm able to go to the gym. I'm able to just break bread with my friends and my family and just live life and experience stuff, because unfortunately not a lot of people reach the age where they can get to do that stuff and have that freedom, or they're unable to because they live in places where that's not allowed, you know, or they're just in precarious situations where, yeah, they're alive, but they're not living. There's a lot of stuff. So yeah, just make the best out of every single moment in life. Count your blessings and drink your water. Pap says, do you think Persona 6 will be affected by the Grand Theft Auto 6 release? Rumors from credible Persona leakers say the game is slated for 2025. I don't necessarily think so. I mean, provided they don't launch it the same day as GTA 6, no. But I think anything within that like month time frame of GTA 6, they just got to steer clear. You know, that you can't do that. You just leave it the fuck alone, bro. Unless it's a Nintendo title, do not launch anything near Grand Theft Auto 6. Don't do it. But Persona 6, because we actually discussed that on last week's Ask Neo, when Persona 6 could come out. And I said optimistically 2025, realistically 2026, just because it'll have been 10 years and 2026, Persona 6. Oh, but that'd be dope if we get 2 6 titles in 2025. But yeah, no, I don't think there's cause for alarm there. I mean, me, myself, and I'm gonna be getting both day one, but provided they don't launch it the same day, I think we're gonna be fine. Yes, sir. That's right. That's right, Rhino. Those birthday vibes are gonna be lit, bro. Dude, that's the thing, bro. They launched Wonderful 101 the same day as GTA 5. The only thing nothing can compete with GTA 5, but the only title that you should ever be launching within that same time frame should be like a Mario game. You know, like, don't do anything else. And even then, bro, just don't do it. Just don't fucking do it, bro. I don't know why why? Oh, what's up? What's up, Boost Up? How you doing? That was just one of the craziest moments of all time. Just the wonderful 101. It sold only 101 copies. That's not wonderful. I just can't believe how many copies GTA 5 has sold. Let's see how many copies GTA 5 has sold. GTA 5 has sold 190 units. 190 units, bro. That's insane. 190 million units. I'm sorry. Not 190 copies. 190 million units. That's fucking crazy. Yo, Neo, check out The Holdovers. It's a great movie. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I do want to check it out. There's a couple movies I still need to see. I still need to see Killers of the Flower Moon. I want to see Napoleon as well, but man, there's so many of these like long ass movies I got to see in theaters. I say this as somebody who loved Oppenheimer, but yeah, it's just finding the time to see those. Like Oppenheimer, it was okay for whatever reason, but everything else, I'm just like, damn, that thing is like 3.5 hours. Oh man, you know? Yeah, I've been hearing really good things about that. So let's see. Okay, so someone says, do you think Andrew Garfield will get his third movie and Tobey will get his fourth Spider-Man movie? What do you think they'll do for the plots? Oh god, so this rumor has been persisting ever since No Way Home came out. The Amazing Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 4. Like, are they going to happen? Honestly, I don't trust Sony, man. I don't trust Sony Pictures. I don't trust them that those movies will be good. The only way that I would ever accept them doing an Amazing Spider-Man 3 or a Spider-Man 4 is if you get back the people who want to work on the movie and you let them cook. You don't tie it into this Sony's universe pictures of Marvel characters. You don't tie it into the spum. You just let them tell the stories that they want to tell. If we set those parameters, I can get excited for it. Now, will they do that? I don't think so, because just having 3 separate Spider-Man random movies come out and they're all live action, I don't think that's possible. I don't think that they're going to be like, hey, here's the Amazing Spider-Man 3, the sequel to a movie that came out like 10, 12, 14 years ago. Here's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, the sequel to a movie that came out 20 years ago. Like, as awesome as it would be to see Andrew get some closure, as awesome as it would be to see what Raimi could have done with a 4th Spider-Man movie with no studio interference, I just don't trust Sony Pictures, bro. They need to be on a fucking leash. We really lucked out when it comes to the Spider-Verse movies, because that's the animation department. They cooking. Sony can't really force Morbius or Madam Web into that bitch. But with the live action stuff, they're just like, oh, listen, we can do this. This is our wheelhouse. I can't, man. I can't. It's just being a Spider-Man fan. You're just so jilted. You can't get excited about hope. You can't get excited about hope. Hey, Gabe, what's going on, bro? Did you know Amazon is making a Spider-Man Noir show? I did. But here's the weird thing, man. Again, Sony and the live-action Spider-Man rights, there's always a monkey's paw effect. So they're doing this Spider-Man Noir show, which is very interesting. But it's not going to be about Peter Parker. At all. And I'm just like, why? One of the cool parts about that iteration was how it takes place in a different time, in a different era, and how different things could be. But now it's like, we're going to do a completely different character. And I'm like, okay. All right. Fine. Better make it good, man. That's all I can say. Because the thing is, like, I want to get excited for this different shit, but I can't. It's Sony. Like, no, man. And then there's the weird stipulations that they do for like the Marvel Studios iteration of the Spider-Man characters. The weird stipulations. Like, you can't call Zendaya Mary Jane. So her name is Michelle Jones. And then the third movie, Watson. Just make her a biracial Mary Jane. Just do that. You know? It's like, we're not going to mention Uncle Ben, but we're going to put his initials on a briefcase. And then we're going to give Aunt May basically all the life lessons in the third movie. It's like, why? What are you doing? Like, why do you do this weird shit, bro? Why do you do this weird shit different for the sake of being different? I'm like, I promise you, bro. Nobody cares. Ah, man. It's just, man, like, just, bro, Madam Web is a money laundering scheme. They can't keep getting away with this. They cannot keep getting away with this, you guys. They think they're building towards something. They're not, dude. They're not. I hate this because it sounds fucked up, but like, I can't wait for that movie to crash and burn like Morbius did. And they're gonna still make more. Kraven is gonna come out, and then they're probably gonna do like, they're probably gonna ruin Silk, and they might do a live action Miles movie or a Spider-Gwen movie, and it just. And you know what the sad thing is, you guys? You know what the sad thing is? The sad thing is, we're responsible for this. The sad thing is, you guys, we're the reason this keeps happening. And no, it's not because people go out and they watch El Muerto or the Venom movies or whatever. Like, yeah, Venom makes money, okay. But I'll tell you why. Because the Spider-Man movies make money, because the Venom movies make money, that gives them enough juice to do all this dumb shit. If the Spider-Man movies start flopping, if the Venom movies start flopping, they ain't doing this dumb shit. But because those movies make a lot of money, it trickles down. And that's why we get Madam Web. And that's why we get Morbius. And that's why we get Kraven the Animal Lover Vegan. That's why. We can't win. We just gotta take the good shit and just realize that, like, oh my god, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse are just amazing movies. But indirectly, with my enjoyment of those films, it's given Sony the juice to do Madam Web. Spider-Man No Way Home made almost $2 billion. And out of all that money, the profit, it's given us not Kraven. Like, we did this to ourselves, you guys. I'm sorry. This is end stage Neo. I feel like Hawkeye right now. Don't give me hope. $5 super chat coming in from the homie J Fam. Bro, at this rate, I want to see Sony donate the Spider-Man film rights back to Marvel. We deserve that after the mere announcement of El Muerto. Well, El Muerto, my brother, El Muerto was canceled because Bad Bunny was just like, what the fuck is going on? Man, shout out to Bad Bunny for real. He was just like, nah, fam, I ain't attached to this shit anymore. But you know what? They might still try to get it off the ground. Listen, they are determined to get this tax write-off in theaters. They're determined. If it's not Bad Bunny, we'll get Positive Rabbit. You know, no Bad Bunny, we got Positive Rabbit in the mix. Like, we're gonna make it work. Please be excited. Please be excited. Oh, I swear to God, being a Spider-Man fan is so exhausting at times. Because it's like, sometimes we get thrown a bone and we get really good shit. But inadvertently, that good shit just funds all this bad shit. This is really affecting me, you guys. Like, I've always known this, but now it's really setting in that I can't, in good conscience, support good Spider-Man media because it's going to give us the bad shit too. We got a $5 super chat coming in from DIMWITMONKEY. Madam Web may look dumb, but Sydney Sweetie is dumb thick. Listen, she is supreme. She is supreme, like, grade A, organic, fresh from the cow's titty milk. Like, bro, I see the vision. I saw her in Euphoria, and I'm just like, oh, all right, but man, I see it. I see it, man. Bro said at times. Wait, what did I say? Wait, did I say being a Spider-Man fan at times? Like, what did I say? What the fuck did I say? I'm forgetting it now because I'm trying to numb out the pain without using alcohol, guys. Bro, you have to clip that. What did I say? I legitimately forgot what I said. What did I say? Take old biddies? Yes, sir. I love how Bob's been so silent this whole time post Godzilla, and he just comes back. He's like, "Whoa, we talking about white women? White women titties? Yeah, that's all it needs in this man. They're white women." Nah, but yeah, shout out to Sydney Sweeting. Oh man. Tim Tam the Simp Man. Tim Tam the Simp Man came out. Well, at least you're simping after something good for a change, because you know all those other times I don't know what type of time you was on, my friend. You was on something different. Nah, I still think one of the funniest interactions that I had. So I've known Godzilla Tommy here in the chat. I have known this dude since I first got on YouTube 15 years ago, going on 16 years. Like that's how long me and him have been friends. We got cool in a YouTube comment section, talk about import Naruto video games. And I've had the misfortune of following this dude for 16 years, and the simping is just at an all-time high. I'm not even gonna bring up Ariana Grande or whoever else he's been simping, Selena Gomez. But what I'm talking about is something you guys can relate to. Persona, right? So back in 2020, back during lockdown, you guys know Persona 5 Royal came out. I think it came out like a little bit before we hit lockdown, or around the time we hit lockdown, whatever. You know, it was a big deal because, you know, oh my god, yeah, I love Persona. I'm excited. You know, we're gonna get to play as the new we're gonna get a new comrade, a new confidant. Yay, it's great. And you know, it took me some time to fully dive into Persona 5 Royal because I played it for a bit, then I put it down when Final Fantasy. I'm just checking something real quick, and I'll look back at the camera. And then I was just like, yeah, you know, like yeah, Persona 5 Royal, woo. But yeah, let me just play Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and then I was like, let me go back to Persona. But all the while, I had to like deal with this dude's excitement and engagement over one particular character who you guys will see in the background right there. Her. That's right, Kasumi. And the way this man was just hyping her up, I was like, yo, is this one of the best new Persona characters? Like, did Atlas cook? Was they really up in the kitchen, chefing it up with a redhead? You know me, I love my redheads. And so I'm playing through this. And I'm just like, all right, let's see what this Kasumi girl's hitting for. All right. So I'm playing. I'm like, all right, Kasumi's cool. I keep playing. All right, Kasumi's cool. I keep playing. All right, Kasumi's cool. But the way that this man was hyping her up, and mind you, every single thing that he has shown on Twitter, I've played it, and what he was hyping up at that time, because I know I haven't gone through the very, very end of the game yet, but everything that he's put beforehand was hyping this shit up about this girl, making it seem like she's the greatest. And so I'm playing, I'm like, what? There was a scene in particular, and this is where I just had to let loose. There's a scene in particular where it showed, it was them when they took the trip to Hawaii, and it was Kasumi, and she said aloha, right? She said aloha, and the caption on his tweet was all caps, mind you. He said, "That's it. Don't even try to tell me that she is the best girl. This is not up for debate." I was just like, nigga, she said hello. She said hello. And this man is just like, oh, best girl, man. Like, I was just like, all right, no. We ain't doing this shit, bro. We ain't doing this shit. Oh, the shout out to guys all the time. That's my man's for real. I love that dude. Love that dude to death, even though, yo, I remember one time I came to an Xbox Live party chat. This man was like on his second bottle of Fireball. It was crazy. But shout out to Kory Gryffindor for his Shout out to Kory Gryffindor for his 10th super chat on a live stream. Yo, you know what the funniest thing about this Kory Gryffindor is? Kory Gryffindor, you are now Ash Ketchum. Oh my God. Because Kory Gryffindor has been celebrated for this being his 10th super chat for like the past 2 months. Oh my God. Kory Gryffindor is now Ash Ketchum. Because Ash Ketchum is just 10 years old perpetually for the entire series. But I digress. Kory Gryffindor with a $4.99 super chat. Let's celebrate his 10th super chat, everybody. Yay, yay. We love Kory. We love Kory. Happy 10th super chat, Kory. Everyone wish Kory a happy 10th super chat. First, fuck this 10th super chat shit. And second, crossing fingers for Sega to announce Jet Set Radio at the Game Awards. Oh, that is right. So yeah, we got about like 3 minutes left. You guys, the Game Awards, the Keeleys are happening this Thursday. Now, I'm going to be at work, so I won't be able to watch the showcase this year. And knowing my luck, it's probably going to be a fire show. There's going to be great announcements. Xbox is teasing it. Nintendo is teasing it. Like, there's going to be some good shit. Some exciting stuff. I can't wait. But we're going to discuss all that stuff on next week's show. I know it's going to be a couple days late, but we're going to go through everything. We're going to talk about the awards. We're going to talk about what won, what didn't, and of course the game announcements. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. But Sega has already started teasing that they may or may not have a big fucking announcement. They started sending out to influencers these random like letters saying like, oh, get excited for this Thursday at the Game Awards. Like, what the fuck is that all about? A lot of people are thinking that it could be a brand new game announcement. Honestly, just based off of who I saw them send it out to, there were a lot of people who were involved in fighting games, so there's a high probability that it might be a new Virtua Fighter, especially with Sega and how they're really trying to get into these super games, these big games. They're just trying to really get into the live service shit. I wouldn't be surprised if it is a new Virtua Fighter, Reborn. But then some people are saying, nah, it could be something else, man. This might be the Persona 6 announcement. This could be something else. I don't... Honestly, I think it's probably Virtua Fighter. But if it's something else, like, honestly, if it's a Persona 6 announcement, I would, knowing my luck, I would not stream a Persona 6 announcement. That is just my fucking luck. But what do you guys think it is? Comment down below and let me know. $2 super chat from Julian Phoenix. Call out for the Game Awards. I already took off that Friday for a friend's birthday, so I'm not going to do it. You know, it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. I have to be a responsible adult. I have to be a former child and go to work, you guys. I have to do it. I gotta do it. Power Stone. Oh, man. Yes, sir, Jason. That's right. Next Monday, my guy. Next Monday, we lit. Yeah, Jason and I are hanging out next week. We're gonna be getting tacos, margaritas, and seeing Die Hard in Dolby Cinema. And it's not even a Tuesday, you guys. We gonna be lit, man. It's gonna be the most lit Monday since... I don't know. When was the last time it was a lit Monday? I don't know. Either way. Peggle 3. You can't watch the show while working? Oh, no. I can watch it, and I'll be reading the updates on Twitter, but I'm not going to be streaming it. My ears are really red. What is going on? I have no idea what's happening. Why are my ears red? This is so weird. Oh, well. Imagine I go on WebMD. You're dying. Oh, no! Zack Rodriguez, who's been a member for the past 24 months of the Phantom Weirdo tier. Appreciate you, my guy. Chris, been thinking about playing the Xenoblade games. Are they all really good? How do the games hold up? Are they good like the Persona games? Ooh, my brother. Yes. Okay, so the Xenoblade series is very good. In terms of how it relates to Persona, they're not the same game whatsoever. They're very, very good RPGs with epic stories. There's 3 games that are out right now with 3 expansions that exist. Now, if you buy Xenoblade, if you want to start out with the Xenoblade franchise, I always recommend playing the first one with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. It's on the Nintendo Switch. They basically remade the game from the Wii. They streamlined it. They made it a bit more palatable for modern day controls. They also have a brand new expansion for that as well, which is great. And it's included in the same price. It's awesome. I love the story of Xenoblade. I love Shulk. You can see where all the memes came from. Then you have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is my least favorite in the series, but it's still a really good game. That game, they kind of go batshit insane with how they handle the gameplay approach and how it just has a gacha system And it has this battle system that is like really crazy, and it's like hard for newcomers to understand, but if you were willing to learn it, it's so rewarding and fascinating. It's just it's like it's got a lot of good things about it with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but like if people don't like it, I understand. The third game though, whew, that's some peak. That is some peak shit right there, bro. It's a great game for newcomers if you've never played a Xenoblade game. Sure, there is enjoyment and there is payoff if you've played the previous Xenoblade games, but in terms of enjoyment, you just, it's amazing. The battle system is fantastic. It's the best all-around Xenoblade game, similar to like how Persona 5 is the best all-around Persona game. And it's kind of hard to go back to the older games after you play through 3, because 3 is just it's so good at what it does. Like, the story is great. Would I say it's better than the first Xenoblade? I don't know. I'm really just breaking down the Xenoblade games right now, but they're all really fucking good. They're really good games. 3 being one of my favorites as an all-around game. It's so good. But it's just a fantastic RPG series, and there's really no other game like that, especially exclusive, available on a console, and coming from a first party as well. Like, outside of now Xbox with the Bethesda acquisition, Nintendo's killing it when it comes to JRPGs, like exclusively from a console manufacturer. And dude, it's a great series, man. I recommend people play it. Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition, awesome. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, pretty divisive, but it's still a good game. Oh, and the expansion pack, Torna the Golden... Oh, Torna is so good. And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is just... It's great characters, great... It's just so fucking good, man. Yeah, the first Xenoblade game is better in terms of how it tells the story. Like, just for me, it's just... Oh, 3's gameplay, bro. I bought all three Xenoblade games after Neo hyped it up. Only bad thing is the British voice characters. Yeah, the dubs for the game are kind of quirky, to say the least. Xenoblade Chronicles 2's dub, in my opinion, is not that good. One is very memey, but it's good. 3's dub, I think, is the strongest, even though there is some cheese to it. But they're great games, man. They're great games. And if you want, you can play it in Japanese. I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in Japanese. Rex should not be anything. He should not be in anything. No, thank you. Neo wanted something a bit meatier. I'm gonna punch your lights out, Flame. You hear that, Noah? All right, you guys. But I'm looking at the clock, and it is 9:04 p.m., which means it is time for us to wrap up the show for tonight. But before we go, we got a last-minute super chat coming in from Zack Rodriguez. Are the Xenoblade games worth full price and hold up, you think? Okay, here, I'll say this much. Yes, they are worth full price because each of the campaigns in them are like 50-plus hours long, and they're great stories. Start with the first one, though. Play the first one. Don't buy all 3. Just buy the first one if you really need a game to play. If you are busy, you can hold off for a bit. Maybe you can get it on sale for like $5 off, $10 off, because you know how Nintendo games don't really go on sale like that. But they're good games, man. If you want to play something that's very different, and it's a good series to start, man. And it's got fire music, dude. Ooh, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 soundtrack? Holy shit, dude. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Alright, is Guardians of the Galaxy better? I mean, they're 2 different games. You can't really compare them. But the Guardians of the Galaxy game is really good. Very underrated. Sleeper hit. It was my game of the year from 2021. But yes, you guys, thank you so much for another fantastic show. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to kick it with y'all every single week that we do these streams. It was a lot of fun. Just a lot of excitement. A lot of anticipation. Just GTA 6. Godzilla Minus One, and just everything else that we have to look forward to. You know, we got the Game Awards happening on Thursday. I'm not going to be live reacting to it, but I am going to be on stream next week talking about it. And also, later on in the week, I'm actually going to be over on the Level 1 Gaming's channel for like a year-end wrap-up of 2023. It's a huge blowout with so many creators in the space, so many people that you guys know and love. I'm going to be on that show live this Saturday at, I believe it's 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, so it's 2 p.m. Eastern, and then you guys can do the time zone conversions. I'm going to be on with the homie Jez Corden from Windows Central. So you guys ain't ready for this. You guys are not ready for this. Baked beans meets Chipotle mayo. Ooh, the world is going to implode. I can't fucking wait. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, you guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming through the stream. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. And yeah, you know, you guys enjoy the rest of your mornings, your evenings, your afternoons, wherever you guys are. Continue to be kind to each other. Continue to be the excellent individuals that you are. And for me to you for now, my name is NGS signing out. And like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.